So how do I watch TV as a blind person? I'm sitting here watching one of my favorite shows right now, so I thought it'd be interesting to give you a quick video and just tell you how I watch TV as a blind person. So stay tuned, we'll go over it in just a second.
Are you feeding them?
Oh yeah.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate you being here with me. I really appreciate your support on the channel as well. It really means a lot to me. So how do I watch TV as a person who is blind? I'm actually just hanging out here and doing something that I usually do in the evenings. Corey and I usually sit down and watch one of our favorite shows. It's actually called Mysteries at the Museum. So we just got back from the gym, and we usually like to watch like one episode of this each night. It's a really cool show. So I thought, you know what, it might be cool to share with all of you how I actually do watch TV. I don't really watch a whole lot of TV, but the little bit that I do, so I mainly watch the news, and I watch this show. Other than that, I don't really watch a whole lot of TV. I don't spend much time in front of the TV other than maybe like a half hour each day. It's usually in the evening. So as for this show that I'm talking about right now, Mysteries at the Museum, it's actually a really neat show. It's actually, so I have a couple DVDs that have various different episodes on it, but you can also find it on Amazon Prime if you are a Prime member. So what it is, it's just like a little short, maybe like 7 or 8 minute stories. So what they do is they go around to different museums all over the country, and they find different relics in the museum, and then they highlight it and give you the backstory on why it's there. So it's really neat. You hear a lot of really interesting stories about all these different artifacts that they've gathered and that they have in these museums. So it's really fun, and it's informative to the point where like they do a really good job of verbalizing throughout the whole story as they talk about all of these different artifacts. So you don't really need to be able to see in order to understand what's going on. They do a really good job of verbalizing. So anyway, getting back to how do I watch TV? When it comes to this show in particular, I actually don't need to see the TV in order to follow what's going on. So I typically sit here and I'll stare, I'll look toward the TV, and honestly, when I look at the TV right now, since it's so bright in here because we have a bunch of lights on, I can very vaguely see a kind of like a bright light where the TV is. But typically when we watch this show, we have all the lights off, so it's dark in here. So then the TV is pretty bright. And again, I can't see what is actually being displayed on the TV, but I can see that it's very bright, shining back at me. So I'll just stare at the bright light. It probably doesn't help my vision at all by staring at the TV, but I find that it helps me focus a little bit easier when I'm actually looking at the TV. So, and follow the story. So anyway, so that's how I watch TV, is I look at the TV, but what I do is I just listen. Like I said with these videos, I don't need to be able to see what's going on in order to follow the story. The same thing with the news. Again, the news, typically it's a couple anchors sitting at a desk just reporting the news. So I don't need to see the people in order to follow what's going on. However, if I was watching a movie or one of these TV shows that comes on in the evening, these sitcom type TV shows, that's a completely different story. So if I do watch TV and it's one of these shows, I miss quite a bit, especially movies. Not so much these TV shows that come on in the evenings, but it's mainly movies. I miss a lot because, as all of you know, with communication, a lot of communication is not only verbal, but it's a lot of nonverbals. So as I'm watching a movie, it's not uncommon for me to, I wouldn't say be lost, but I would say miss a lot of very important points that are being made throughout the storyline, during the plot of the movie, just because there's so many nonverbals throughout the entire time. So I'm missing a lot when it comes to movies. Again, with TV shows, it's similar, but they don't, there's not quite as many nonverbals with TV shows, but I typically don't watch a whole lot of movies, and the reason for it is it's just I spend maybe too much time not being able to follow along what's going on in the movie or the TV show. So I find it to be not all that entertaining for me. So previously, years ago when my vision was better, when I was 26, 27-ish, kind of the last few years when my vision was decent, like pretty good enough to be able to see the TV and be able to see faces and what was going on. I still missed, different things because my field of vision is pretty narrow. So, um, well, I mean, my field of vision is almost non-existent now, but back then when my field of vision was a little bit better, when it was a little bit wider, I still missed, different things because if I was staring in the middle of the screen and something happened, let's just say on the left side of the screen, I would probably miss it. So if I wasn't actually staring at the exact point on the screen where something was taking place, I would maybe miss it. So, um, so yeah, I would just say that watching TV, watching movies isn't a huge part of my life. Like I said, maybe a half hour each day, not even 5 days, not even 7 days a week, maybe only like 5 days per week. But I typically just listen to what's going on and I follow what's going on TV that way. So now I've done a little bit of experimenting with this, and it's called Voiceover. So a lot of you who are Apple users, who have Apple products, Apple's really good at Voiceover. Obviously, all these other brands out there also have their version of Voiceover, but Apple seems to be pretty good. I haven't explored Apple TV, but it's something that I've been meaning to explore a little bit more. We've more explored a little bit with the Samsung version, but we weren't actually able to get it to work. But anyway, within the settings, there's typically some kind of voiceover technology in the TV, and what they do there is from what I've heard and what it sounds like to me is they'll actually dictate what's going on the screen on the TV. So for example, let's just say, I mean, I don't know what's going on TV right now as far as what's showing on the display, but let's just say, for example, there's a person sitting, let's say like a woman sitting in a red chair with a coffee table in front of her. The voiceover may say, middle-aged woman sitting on red chair with coffee table, or like sit with a coffee table or in front of a coffee table, something similar to that. What's interesting is it's just a really interesting feature. So I've actually watched YouTube videos of this technology, and I thought, wow, that's really cool. So if you're interested, if you've never explored it, I would say just watch a couple YouTube videos about voiceover with video, and it's really neat how the TV or the device, whatever it is that the video is being displayed through, is actually dictating the scenario, what's going on, and it also features nonverbals. So if somebody is in a movie and they're wearing a hat or they're making hand gestures, it'll actually dictate all of those gestures and the props, like a hat or a dog or whatever is on the screen. So it'll tell you what's going on. So it's just a really cool feature. So anyway, that's how I watch TV right now. I don't use any of the voiceover technology currently, but it's something that I've been meaning to explore a little bit more, and I will. And when I do, I'll definitely give you another updated video just to talk about how I do it, and probably featuring some of the cool technology that I found. But as of right now, with the limited amount of TV that I actually watch, like I said, with the news, I just listen. I typically just have it on, and then I don't even sit here. I'm usually busy in the kitchen or something like that, just listening. And as far as this show, I just really enjoy just listening to the plots. So anyway, if you're interested in watching this show, it's called Mysteries at the Museum. You can find it on Amazon Prime. Otherwise, they do have DVDs too. So anyway, that's how I watch TV as a blind person. And if you are new to the channel, I'd really appreciate you subscribing. If you look actually down in the lower right corner of this video, you'll see a pretty cool picture of me. It's my profile picture. If you actually just click on that picture, you will be subscribed. So it's a pretty cool new feature that we just added to the videos. and we're pretty cool. We're excited about it. So yeah, just hit that button down in the lower right corner of the video, the picture of me, and you'll subscribe. Otherwise, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. We always do our best to answer questions as promptly as possible and interact with all of you. It's been really fun getting to know everybody on this channel. It's been so cool talking to all of you and just reaching so many different people around the world and just hearing your stories with RP or what you enjoy doing, your hobbies, your passions. And it's just been a really fun experience to get to know all of you and just have this channel. So I really appreciate all of your support and just finding me here and following me along in the future with future videos. So thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon on another video. Thank you.